The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition.
Madam Speaker, allow me to quote from this Premier's climate plan. Quote, "A carbon levy is simpler and more effective for Manitoba. It can cover more emissions in our economy, leading to more reductions, which is the goal. It gives price certainty to business, helping them plan and invest accordingly, and it costs less to put in place than any other system." This is the only part of this plan that was actually going to happen. As for the rest, it's not made in Manitoba, and it's not a plan. It's a nice list of things to do without any commitment to do or fund a single one. The only action this government has made on climate change so far is to back out of the only concrete commitment they promised, the carbon tax. Does the Premier believe that a price on pollution will make a difference in reducing emissions or not?
The Honourable First Minister.
I appreciate the fact that the member from Ottawa West wants to support Ottawa East in invoking a carbon tax, Madam Speaker, and he wants to join with the NDP in advocating for it. But, Madam Speaker, we're concerned for the welfare of Manitobans, and we're concerned that the federal government has failed to demonstrate any respect for the green record this province has and continues to have. And so because of that, we're saying no to the carbon tax and yes to our green plan. We'll continue to make progressive changes to make sure that we leave this province cleaner and better for those who follow us.
Here. The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition on a supplementary question.
Madam Speaker, I don't know why the First Minister always refers to Ottawa when I ask questions. When it came to my leadership, my election campaign and my caucus, everybody is born and raised in Manitoba, which is more than the First Minister can say. This government has complained that the federal government refused to give them credit for billions in hydro development. What matters is what this province will do in the future to reduce emissions, not what it has done in the past. We all know, as the First Minister has said, that billions of investment as hydro hasn't been well spent, and clearly the Premier knows this since he repeats it every other day and several times today in the House. But now the government is going to spend $2.5 million hiring Gordon Campbell to look into Kiesk and Bipole 3, when I, along with many other Manitobans, could have told him what the problem is for free. I understand.
That's what it's worth.
Surely they could have found a consultant in Manitoba who did not also personally approve a hydro project whose costs are spiraling out of control.
Are you applying?
Mr. Gordon Campbell might be a very fine person, but he approved Site C in BC, which was originally supposed to cost $8.3 billion. Costs have risen to $10.7 billion.
The member's time has expired. The Honourable First Minister.
Well, Madam Speaker, I assure the member that I am born and raised in Manitoba. But that in no way should be misinterpreted to be taken as a condemnation of anyone who wasn't born and raised here, because we are the most open province in the country, which is the most open country in the world. I'm open to ideas from everywhere, Madam Speaker. The reason I refer to the member's position as supportive of Ottawa East, being he is Ottawa West, is because every position he's advocated for so far is equal to the position advocated for by the Trudeau government.
The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition on a final supplementary.
The Premier's mistaken again, Madam Speaker. When it comes to hydro, we know what happened and what needs to be done. Everyone thought that oil would stay at $100 a barrel plus forever. No one saw fracking coming, and no one remembered the lessons of the 1980s that oil prices could plummet. We know the NDP government forced hydro to move Bipole at colossal extra expense, and we know that this government, like the NDP before it, has continued to use hydro as an ATM. When Manitoba Hydro's board resigned en masse, they made it clear, and I quote, "The previous government rightly deserves to be criticized for putting Manitoba Hydro into such a perilous state. But those who become aware of the problems and fail to deal with them are equally responsible. For Hydro to survive, this government needs to stop hiding its debt on Hydro's books, as the NDP did. Will this government stop raiding Hydro so it can recover and maintain affordable hydro rates for all Manitobans?"
The Honourable First Minister.
That doesn't merit applause, I don't think, Madam Speaker. The fact is that Manitoba Hydro actually saves hundreds of millions of dollars by using the credit rating of the province every year. It's charged 1% for that fee, which is negligible. The fact is that the review that we have commissioned is a forward-looking review. The member claims he knows it all when it comes to hydro. I doubt that, Madam Speaker, and I think Manitobans deserve a full review, and they deserve a forward-looking review, and that's what they'll get the member refers to the cost of the review. The review, I should share with the member, as a percentage of the expected cost of bipole and kiosk is not 1%, but 0.0001 of a percent of the expected cost of those projects. Madam Speaker, we have to learn from the mistakes of the past, or we'll be
Order.
condemned to repeat them, as the member has clearly indicated he is willing to do here today in the House.
Chair.